We've known it long. There's a song inside each one of us, and it grows as we've come to know we are celestial beings, and the galaxy rejoices here eternally. So please let me feel inner peace from my center at the center of me. Please let me feel inner peace from my center at the center of me. My heart is open, I am aware, in me's a knowing, I'm love, 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 my heart is open, I am aware, in me's a knowing.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming. Hi, Tamara. Hi, Innocence. Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here today. Welcome to the third annual Land in Black Hands. Folks are still entering the room, so we're just going to give them just a few more moments to get on in. Hi, Micah. So the beautiful music that you guys heard upon entering, I have to give credit to Soulfire Farm that played that earlier this week in an uprooting racism training. It was amazing. And it was so amazing. I had to borrow that song for all of you and share it. Next speaker is going to be Tamara Dumais.
Hi.
Hi.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm hoping that I can share a couple of points just to fuel some discussion around Black land. So I'll begin. My name is Tamara Grace Dumais. I'm a mom. I'm an artist, an entrepreneur, and an herbalist, and I'm originally from Haiti. And I began my journey as a Black farmer about 2.5 years ago. I moved my son and my online business to a farm. And although I'm not a landowner, and I know we have ideas about what ownership means, I know that I can never leave. I can never go back to the way things are. And just incredibly grateful for the people who ushered me into that part of my life and really have changed my life in a way that I don't think I'll ever be able to even explain here. What I was most inspired by just in my business and in my work and in today's discussion was the quote by the great Marcus Garvey. One of my favorite quotes and that I base my business on is remove the kinks from your mind and not your hair. And my goal in general, I'm a Christian, just in general is to promote healing, self-actualization, and to use my work to rehumanize the concept of Black and brown beauty and the right to exist in our God-given form. I feel very tied and very close to being who we were created to be and to honor how we were originally made when we came into this world by God. And so an area that I believe is often overlooked in the discussion about Black land inclusion is the psychology of racism and the impact that cultural pluralism really has on the collective self-esteem of people of color. We all read The Bluest Eye when we were little. Every Black, young girl remembers being 5 years old. We all go through that process of asking, why are we not white? Why is my hair not long? Why is my eyes not blue? And it's part of this collective programming that goes on in the world that most people really aren't aware of unless you are a person of color. So I believe that this is a big part of the dialogue of land inclusion, where it begins with us not knowing who we really are in the first place. Both Marcus Garvey, but also Malcolm X, which I know inspires the movement with Soulfire Farm, is that it's pointing to the idea that advancement as a people must be examined from the perspective of self-concept. I think that self-concept is a very important and overlooked idea. And Marcus Garvey even said that if we have no confidence in self, we are twice defeated in the race of life. And so I hope that in our discussion today, we can talk amongst ourselves about what is the true economic impact that people of color really deal with in not being able to actually visualize ourselves properly, and in a natural way, and so, many of us, that whole separation that we've all gone through, which we won't have time to go through here, but separating us from the idea of land, family, stability, all of these things were really part of the original imperative to dehumanize people of African descent. And that started in the transatlantic slave trade. And so today, Blackness is somehow idealized by placing our identity in the inner city. And that's not something that we really did ourselves or even understand anymore, because we've been disconnected from it for so long. And even as a loctician, someone who works with people with hair, I never even understood it for myself that some of my work is very connected to spiritual healing, because I transform people who ask me, and I transform them from this aesthetic enslavement that they're in, and I give them and I bring them into the freedom of having natural hair or locked hair. And so in this psychology, what can we really do? And so I just wanted to just share the idea that we need to keep healing at the nucleus of this movement, that we can use our work as teachers and entrepreneurs and healers and preachers and farmers to contribute to this collective false identity and really heal us. The leaders in the Black land movement, from what I am learning, also are pointing us to the idea that land is at the nucleus of revolution, justice, independence for our people. And so as a departure point, I would like to suggest that the solution to all of this is also creating new economies, economies that reimagine sustainability, not just for the planet and for the earth, but also economies that are designed to mend the broken self-concept that people carry. So through the rewriting of history, creation of art, media, advertising, we can step up and tell our own stories. We can make our own movies, and we can take control of the visual world within our community. And this can serve the greater good and the paradigm of cultural exchange and inclusion. And I believe that white privilege needs to be healed in the exact same area that people of color need to be healed. And as a quick example, with white privilege, it is usually threatened. That privilege is usually threatened when someone who you think is below you is doing better than you, has land, or has something that you don't have. And so what I like to suggest today is just the idea that there's a great moral poverty going on in the idea that when you believe in the assumption that you are superior to others, you're robbing yourself. And this is a sin. This is a sin of jealousy. This is a sin of pride. And it's at the very core of what I believe needs to be surrendered so that we can move forward. We have to surrender that there's no one is better. You didn't start out better. So this way you can be comfortable when that land is returned. when that reparation happens. And so taking away that sin, that feeling inside of assumption of superiority within ourselves is a big step. And I feel that as people of color, when we can finally see ourselves as having what we've always deserved to have, then this would really inspire the movement towards expanding land access. So as a mother, I don't own land, but I knew that it was important for me to get there so that my son, children around me, and that he doesn't know, he doesn't have that reality that he doesn't belong on the land, because I'm Haitian and that's where we belong. That's where we're from. So I'm just praying for an opportunity to have land, to share it, and to be able to continue these connections, and to be able to give the way that I was created to give. And that's my prayer. And that's my prayer for everybody here as well. So thank you so much.
Yes, that is beautiful. Thank you so much. Oh, my heart is full. Um, Tamara's story was so amazing to me, to hear that how she just left the city and pursued this dream. I don't even want to call it a dream, this prayer, this intention. And so, yes, I encourage you all to talk with her more.